Ladies and gentlemen. I should probably complete the mission first. But we have to discuss something. There we go. Yeah, they're animated wrong. It feels like it's motion captured, but like it's just weird and stilted and wrong. Hey, Walker. Yeah, by the way, I linked you the wrong video. I don't think there is an RFF1 story server. I thought there was. But clearly, there is not. So, let's talk about... Oh, that could be Colgrim. And maybe they didn't really adhere to the rigging properly. Let's talk about external continuity and a little side topic, if you don't mind indulging me for a minute. It's called suspension of disbelief. Now, suspension of disbelief is mandatory for pretty much every work of fiction ever, to varying extents and varying degrees, depending on the work of fiction in question. It kind of, it's a bubble, right? And where it is for any individual person and individual work actually depends on dozens, if not hundreds, of different variables. So this tends to lead to a lot of when it comes to what is considered acceptable and what it isn't, because the exact same circumstance in the exact same game or show or movie or book or whatever, being seen by two completely different people can have wildly different reactions. But there is still an average gradient of believability. I have been saying for so long that it's been before I actually had a show that I don't care about realism in my games. One of the biggest counter arguments people always say is, you just want realism in your games. No, I actually hate realism in my games. I prefer to have as little of it as possible. No, I like believability, which is the point I've been hammering in for literally over 2 decades now. I am trying to enjoy the work in question. And that's the funny thing about this suspension of disbelief, because you have to understand, we're already on board, right? Remember that suspension of disbelief is on us. We're the ones who have to suspend our disbelief. So we're already doing our part in terms of enjoying the fiction. It is then incumbent upon the fiction itself to then reach out and be the other half of that equation, to try and make that disbelief something we can suspend properly, to just sit back and enjoy it. Yeah, the mere fact that we've bought the game, watched the show, watched the movie, read the book, means we want to suspend our disbelief. We want to be at the point where we can enjoy the damn thing. Unless we're IGN. So, having said all of that, I wanted to bring this up because one of the counter-arguments I hear all the time, so commonly that I literally heard it yesterday when I bring up nonsense in Star Wars works, is, well, Laura, you're just biased because you have, like, the technical manuals, and you have tons and tons of video games, and you have been reading Star Wars EU stuff for the better part of 30 years. So you're just biased about all that stuff, and you have all these preconceptions, and you need to let those go. Just ignore the greater setting, ignore all the other works, which I'll present it in this different way, and just go with the work in question. And I've heard this argument for years, in quite a few, actually, different works of fiction, but Star Wars in particular. I was also biased about being a shark. That was legit. But the reason I bring all this up is I'm going to zoom in. I could name a dozen things this game does, which is nonsense. But I want to really zoom in on the battle we just completed, where 2 Corellian corvettes, CRVs, charged an Imperial-class Star Destroyer, Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer. And the ISD just kind of stared at them like, what? And we, and our little TIE bomber there, had to run around blowing up the corvettes. I understand that you want us to be like the PC, and I get that. But you really, really have to understand how extremely stupid that is. And again, even if you ignore all that extra work, which I turbo don't, because this is a Star Wars game. In fact, this is a canon Star Wars game. But even if I ignore all that, the moment you have a dinky little nothing Corvette going up against this thing, and the Corvettes are winning, is the exact moment I'm like, now there's ways to make this work. That's how suspension of disbelief work. It is incumbent, I already said this, it's incumbent upon the creators to do that extra little bit of work to make the scene at least make sense. And that's why I'm going to bring up one of the Rogue Squadron games. Forgive me, I don't remember which one. It's one of the GameCube ones. There's a sequence of events. It's 3, I want to say, missions. It's all about taking down one Imperial Star Destroyer. It's an awesome sequence. It's probably one of the most memorable and enjoyable sequence of missions in that game, in my opinion. It starts with you having to do all sorts of work in a mission to try and get rid of the support craft, so the ISD is now isolated. Cool. That immediately, just by the basic premise, makes sense. Because an ISD is a big, terrifying, deadly ship, and so we need to get rid of that screen to be able to reach it and do anything to it. And it also implies that the ship is going to be more vulnerable without said screen. Cool. With it, second step, we have to actually go in and try to take down the ship itself, which we have severe and a large amount of support in doing. And when we do so, we don't actually destroy the ship, we just knock it out, which once again emphasizes the strength and power of this ship and the fact that you can't just snap your finger and blow something up, like so often happens, even in Star Wars. Which leads to the third mission. The ship actually grounds on the planet below. And yet there are quite a few survivors on board, and they're still fighting back with what turbo lasers and what ground troops they still have access to from inside the ship. And the thing is, that should be the moment of suspension of disbelief being broken. But instead, because they did so much work to justify this and to build this thing up as this monstrous behemoth that we have to have this multi-stage process to bring down, instead, this buys right into the vibe of the entire story arc. That this is a monster which is on its last legs, but is still dangerous. Fun fact, that third mission is the hardest of those 3. That worked, because they put the time and the effort and the work in order to actually craft the scenario and work through it, so it's like, okay, this makes sense. Suspension of disbelief maintained. And that is the all-important thing that this game has been failing at constantly. It is probably the biggest reason, other than the first draft problems, why this story does not work for me at all, is because of the fact that at every step of the way, I'm trying to enjoy the story, and the story's going, nuh-uh, and it's like slapping me away. No, quit it. Quit it. Which brings me to my next topic. External continuity. Now, external continuity we usually apply in one of 2 ways. One when it's a sequel, which doesn't really apply here at all. Or in the other, when it's a part of a greater franchise, which applies here massively. Now, we're establishing kind of a little bit of precedence here. Because due to the fact that Jedi Fallen Order is actually pre-Oblivion lined, I believe, and so is Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA, I believe this is the first AU game we're actually covering. Now, this could be argued in several directions, but the point here being that we actually have to only pay attention to one specific continuity, one timeline, if you will, when it comes to judging external continuity. Or maybe not, that could be debated. But now we have to judge how well does this fit into the AU? How well... Yeah, exactly, Ross. How well does this use Star Wars? How well does this use the AU? How much does the elements of Syndulla and Sloane and the Anvil Squadron is here. There's the stupid Seahawk skyhawking its way across the screen. All of these things are elements from other works of the AU. And of course, there's the Empire and the fact that this is set after Return of the Jedi, and you get the general idea, right? So, how many negatives do you think this deserves for external continuity? Because I gotta be real, not impressed. Probably one of the only things, and this is going to get some hackles, I'm sure, that has occurred to me is how close this comes to having good external continuity. And I mean that. I think with an extra polishing pass, or 3, this story could have fit rather neatly into the AU, into Star Wars in general, right? I feel like really establishing that this is the Warlords era, really emphasizing how under the gun the Imperial forces are, really stretching the point of just how deluded most of the Imperial characters are, and how much they have no idea what they're doing, and how their resources are slowly dwindling, and their personnel are slowly dwindling, and they bring in this one specific pilot and make a little, like, a sideline, right? A little side comment of, well, remember, this is your last, this is your last pirate requisition for the next 3 cycles. Just a little thing like that to emphasize they can't just replenish troops anymore, right? Little things like that could have gone a long way to emphasizing the nature of the tone and the timeline. And none of that's being done. Instead, what we have is an entire Imperial class Star Destroyer, sorry, Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer, being repaired off camera after having the front section of its hull being ripped off by a super tractor beam. Somehow. Yeah, no, exactly, Blade Chaval. Like, I like Hera Syndulla in Rebels. Spoiler, she's from that. And, Sloane, I believe, is from the comics, primarily. I don't remember. I know she's from something else. It's just... Aftermath. That's actually what I was thinking of. God, freaking Aftermath. Oh my god. That's right, because the Super Sega Hawk is from Aftermath too, isn't it? Like they had a couple at the Battle of Jakku, right? Yeah, no, they could have done stuff with Sloane and worked her towards that. They could have done stuff. Yeah, they had Wedge here for 5 seconds. That was the only one that worked for me, by the way. And then they didn't do anything with it. He was just like, hey, and then he's gone. It's like, but you had Wedge in a fighter game. I said it when he showed up. That made sense. Anyways, I mean, honestly, this whole battle with and this whole thing with the Mega Hawk has absolutely nothing to do with fighter pilots in general, and just feels like the kind of story arc that shouldn't have anything to do with flying around in a TIE bomber. I am very sad. I am very sad that I think I agree. I think this is a triple negative external continuity. They are just not using Star Wars well, and they're not using the AU well. So, like, no matter which angle you take on that, it doesn't work. God, that would be awesome, Carol White Noise. Anybody ever play the mod for I think it was X-Wing Alliance, where you could fly any ship, including the big ships? It was a broken, buggy-ass mod, but it was still rather satisfying to just kind of slowly line up the broadside and let all of your turrets do their thing. Only worked in multiplayer, so I can only do it with friends, but still, it was fun. And yeah, Hera's not a good commander, but I liked her as a character. And I've said this earlier, having characters be stupid isn't really the problem. Having characters being well written is what needs to happen. You can have well written stupid. Um, like honestly, the Imperials being stupid here kind of fits. It's sad, but it does kind of fit. Only kinda. But like Hera is not particularly well written stupid here. She's just kind of stupid. I don't know what else to add to that. And that's not Hera, right? She is a good under the gun, charismatic leader type. She is arguably the reason the Rebel Alliance really got the ball rolling, got the snowball rolling, right? She's not the only reason. She didn't do it in a vacuum. There's a lot of other things there. Evil McEvilface, I can't think of his name. The terrorist guy and Mon Mothma both had massive impact on the Rebel Alliance being a thing, but Hera really got that ball going. That's a good question, Loner. I don't know. Oh, that would be so cool, Blade 12. Yeah, the partisan dude. I call him terrorist guy because he is. No, not Luthen. How's it gonna bother me? He's in Rogue One. He's in Jedi Fallen Order. He's in the Clone Wars series. Saw Gerrera. There we go. Saw Gerrera. Thank you. Couldn't think of his damn name. Yeah, Saw kept the battle going, which, for all the horrible, horrible stuff he did, and the fact that he was functionally wrong, it could be really strongly argued that him keeping the battle going for so long is part of how the Alliance was able to form at all. But I'm getting way off topic. I apologize. I just really, really wanted... Yeah, no kidding, Leonard. I really wanted to fully emphasize why I was giving triple negatives for this, because holy crap. Yeah, he kept the dream alive, exactly. That was... It is what it is. He was the only one willing to dig deep enough to endure when everyone else had just kind of given up, giving everyone else enough time to be born into a new era. Like, it was a decade. He kept that fight going. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. All right, so make sure all our plugins are working perfectly. Cool. Let's keep going.
We had them. They were in our sights, and Captain Carroll just let them go.
What could she do with our missile guidance scrambled?
Are you stupid?
Now Lyndon James and Vanguard Squadron are laughing at us.
They're running scared, dragged down by an injured fleet. If anyone's laughing, it's Captain Carroll.
Let's just get to the briefing room.
I'm sorry. What could we do without the missiles? How many turbo lasers do you have on this boat? And, like, just general torpedo launchers? You know, you can dumb fire. You know that's a thing, right? You can calculate your vector and your trajectory, and you could just fire the torpedo in front of you. Again, this would make a lot more sense if we were on a frickin' pulsar or something else, right? A Nebulon, even. And it's like, that would even make sense for why we needed the super torpedoes, the Baradium stuff, in order to be able to dent the giant capital ship that is the Nintendo Hawk. Right? That would actually track a lot better. It's like, okay, and then, oh god, we can't dent the hull anymore. Quick, peace out. Because, holy crap. That would even make the Corvettes thing make more sense. Listen, we don't have... I will give this game credit. There's been no force in it. Oh, wait, there has.
The Nadiri dockyards are burning. Their Starhawk flees before us. Lyndon and Vanguard are within our reach.
Yeah, talk yourself up there.
Vengeance is sweet, isn't it? But this is no time to get complacent. I've waited too long to let Lyndon slip away again. Admiral Sloane is adamant that the Starhawk be destroyed, but we cannot engage it directly. The tractor beam is too powerful. Instead, we must force them into the Ringali Nebula. There, Vanguard and their battleship will be erased from history. Our Empire has called us to serve. We cannot fail.
Exactly, Solar Galaxy. It's the age-old problem. If you are having problems including a particular element in your story, maybe don't actually include that element in your story. Hell, I have used that argument against myself when it came to the FF rewrites. It's like, I agreed to the FF rewrites, so I'm going to keep all the characters, right? You remember hard mode.
Our enemy is on the run. You have done well, Titan Squadron.
Uh-huh.
But in order to stop them, I need you to break off from the Overseer and fly ahead of the enemy fleet to set a trap. LT-514's calculations indicate that the remains of the Nadiri fleet is attempting to reach the New Republic capital of Chandrila. To do so, they must navigate the junkyard of scrapped Imperial ships they've been using to build that monstrous Starhawk. Poetic, isn't it? We've detected several reactor cores in the junkyard. Titan, fly ahead of their fleet and use the cores to create a minefield on their path. Active cores will detonate when shot and devastate any ships nearby. That includes you. Wield this advantage cautiously. Destroy any Republic starfighters attempting to scout the dangers of the debris field. Your TIEs alone may struggle against the fleet's larger ships. Detonate the cores to take them out. If all goes according to plan, the Starhawk will either be destroyed in your minefield or be forced to divert into the deadly Rengali Nebula. Either way, we win.
Yeah, I think a Quasar Fire would work better than a VSD. Also, in response to my sister, Victories are still pretty mean ships. Lower tier than an ISD, but a Victory is still a battleship.
I trust you see the wisdom in our strategy. Come now. Even damaged, the rebel fleet still presents a legitimate threat. We can't simply attack it in the open.
Too exposed.
Exactly. Sabotage is the answer. We pick the fleet apart, thin their numbers, and leave the Starhawk right where we want it.
Defenseless.
Precisely. If all goes to plan, you and the rest of Titan Squadron will have a clear run at the Starhawk, Lyndon James,
And Vanguard.
Ah, yes. Vanguard's squadron continues to be a vexing anomaly in my calculations. A problem you two are, happily, well positioned to correct. Good luck. I'll be monitoring you from here.
I don't know, Lucre Hulks are still pretty mean. They're basically battle stars. But no, like, I don't know. Yeah, no, that's why I gave it a negative Dark Prince Rabbit. I do have to mention I did give the a positive as well, because the voice acting is actually really good. For all the problems this story has, I cannot lay it at the feet of the voice actors. The concept, not the show, Ross.
I don't know how you can be so calm. I've never been more ready for a mission in my life.
Good. Ride the adrenaline. But remember...
Yes, Varko, don't die. You said it 100 times. None of us are replaceable.
Actually, I was going to say I need you alive because if our plan works, there's a good chance we'll be fighting the Starhawk in the middle of a nebula. If that's how this ends, then I want that good old Vonreg fury covering our backs.
We came so close at Nadiri and they slipped through our fingers. Not again. Not today.
Pace yourself. Make sure that fire's there when I need it.
Can we just get started?
When did this game originally come out? Yeah, I will admit, the older I get, the less likely I am going to include the concept of battle stars in my various sci-fi fiction, because battle stars are ludicrous. Like, speaking realistically, a battle star should by itself be a singular event. Like a doom ship, a command carrier kind of a thing. I don't know, like an SSD. But anyways, I would say yes, Lord Harriman. That's a good clarification. Because victories are still mean. I was actually using real-life classifications, actually, for real-life naval vessels. Circa World War II. Battleships are nice, big, mean death. And, enough said, really. Okay, so, what's something up? Right. Okay. So Battlefront EA came out in 2015. Battlefront 2 EA came out in 2017. I was just kind of idly curious, because there's been a few games in the last several years that tried to do all multiplayer, no single-player mode, and pretty much all of them have flopped pretty hard on that front. But most of the ones I was thinking of immediately were Call of Duty, which is over in the Active Blizzard umbrella. Oh well. Anyways.
For this mission, you're authorized to fly a TIE bomber or a TIE Reaper.
I'll take the bomber. Thanks. Overwatch made a lot of money. I'm not sure if I could say that it did very well for itself, but that's a little more debatable. No, the ISD is a Battlestar, let's be honest with ourselves. I like how the PlayStation Hawk out there is actually on fire right now.
Titan is outbound and advancing ahead of the enemy fleet.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Dismantle their fleet in the debris field. They'll die here or divert the Starhawk into the Ringali Nebula.
Squadron, on me. We're approaching the junkyard now.
This isn't just a junkyard, Varka. It's an Imperial graveyard.
How many different destroyers do you think they left out here? And what did the Republic do to their crews?
That's a good question.
Doesn't matter. We can't change what happened. All we can do now is deliver vengeance.
Before we're done today, this will be a rebel graveyard too.
Overseer, we've reached the target destination.
The enemy is advancing as expected. You have time to prepare our trap.
Copy that. Let's find those reactor cores.
Remember, only active cores are explosive.
And the rest are useless duds. Understood?
Active core, good find.
That core isn't active, so it's useless to us. Destroy it and move on.
How exactly are we rigging these cores to explode?
We're not. The active cores are volatile. It only takes a few shots to detonate them.
So the rebels inadvertently created their own minefield. I love it.
Inactive. The proximity sensors on active cores will alert us to enemies in range of our explosives. If you hear the alarm, a ship is inside the kill zone. That's when we attack the cores and detonate.
Explosive core detected.
It's time, Squadron. Enemy starfighters have entered your minefield. Affirmative, Overseer. Titan, engage and eliminate.
Stray shots could cost us our cores. Precision above all else, pilots.
Soul's right. Titan 3. Let's cut down these fighters.
Hey, Zara.
Taking damage.
I think they've locked on.
Watch out!
Sure, we'll drift right now. Oh, wait, no, we can't. Give me a TIE Defender, I'll show you drifting.
Watch behind.
I'm on your wing.
Excellent work. Republic corvettes are on the approach.
Then we need to pick up the pace.
You're good to go.
I suppose I should thank you.
Whoops.
On your
Damn it.
wing.
I just complete miss press there. There's not really a Republic and an Imperial Command. There's just the campaign, and we hop sides periodically.
They're behind you.
slaughter.
Corvettes inbound. Regroup and be ready to strike. Rebel corvettes inbound. Titan 3, when their ships are in range, detonate the cores. Follow me.
I agree, Dark Prince Ribbon. Oh, I'm having fun, yeah. As I've mentioned a few times, the gameplay is pretty legit.
Their fleet must not reach Chandrilla.
Blast the core. Now.
Thank me later.
Game still might score net negative, though.
Rebels are near the core.
Being honest.
I'm in position. You won't stop me.
Enemy locked on.
Rebel ship is ready to die.
Yep, there's our ISD just sitting out there, doing nothing while we fight corvettes. Wow.
How dare you!
They're in the blast zone.
Hull is compromised. Look at that.
Crack shot, Titan 3. The strategy is working perfectly.
Enemy in position. Detonate the core. Faster, Titan. We cannot let the corvettes cross this debris field.
Let's get more aggressive then.
So I haven't actually tabulated the numbers lately. The HUD should be updating properly, though.
Enemy fleet will be weak without these corvettes.
They're corvettes!
The corvettes are nearly through the debris field. Do not let them pass.
You let the corvette escape. We can't stop the Starhawk at this rate.
Enemy in position.
But
Detonate. Corvette inbound. Titan 3, when their ships are in range, detonate the cores.
Impudent scum!
Enemy in position. Detonate the core.
trying to.
Lucky I was here.
I had it under control.
Precision above all else.
Their fleet must not reach Chandrilla.
Rebels are near the core.
That got through.
This is one of those neat ideas, bad execution missions, I can tell right now.
Look at that.
I like how we're using these once-ever mines
The strategy
to
is
take out a couple of corvettes. Of all things. I'm sorry to keep hammering that point in, but really? We've taken out a couple of PT boats.
Worry about yourself next time.
enemies down. I'm in formation.
What have we got? Which again, I might not be as against if, you know,
Kill that core. Kill those rebels.
we were in a... Hold up, are you gonna... There we go. In a carrier or something.
The Starhawk will be all but defenseless by the time we're done with it.
Faster, Titan. We cannot let the corvettes cross this debris field.
Sure. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen, too.
Corvette inbound. Titan 3, when their ships are in range, detonate the cores.
So, they're locking on.
Enemy in position. Detonate the core.
Turret's gone. Keep fighting.
Precision above all else.
Their fleet must not reach Chandrilla.
Rebels are near the core.
Look at that.
Crack shot, Titan 3. The strategy is working perfectly.
Yeah, no kidding, Alchemist. We lost a TIE bomber. What did we gain? A Corvette.
On your wings.
So... Yes, of course, Triaxia.
Watch your back.
Rebel ship is ready to die.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
The Starhawk will be all but defenseless by the time we're done with it.
You know, TIE droids actually exist. And were only used once ever. Because,
There. Now back in the fight.
Took you long enough.
They're in the blast zone.
I'm hit.
Thank me later.
Enemy on your back.
Faster, Titan. We cannot let the Corvettes cross this debris field.
Let's get more aggressive then.
Enemy fleet will be weak without these corvettes.
Corvettes are finished.
For now. Another convoy is inbound.
round 2.
We'll be ready for them. Titan 3, scan more cores. We don't have much time to rearm our minefield. Completing formation. Good find.
Inactive.
It's junk.
That will do nicely.
That's active.
Don't be too close when that detonates.
Enemy fighters have arrived. Hunt them down. You picked up a tail.
Please target the thing in front of me. There we go. Jesus.
Active core.
That one is active.
Taking damage.
We can use that one. You're welcome.
Get away from that core.
I think they've locked on.
Takes care of that.
I had it under control.
It's active.
Look out! Enemies closing.
I'll have to try harder than that.
Active.
Take it out.
I just realized I can't even go refill with the Star Destroyer because it's so far away that it's not providing cover support for us. I don't think it is. Let's check that. Yeah, no, there's no refill thing.
Lucky I was here.
Okay.
Go evasive, they're turning you.
I'm hit. Impressive.
Easy. Don't be nearby when that core blows.
You're welcome.
I didn't need your help.
Joining your position.
I mean, it's the drow problem all over again, bro. How do the drow operate? Because the writers say they do. Whoop, 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 whoop.
A lucky shot.
Careful! You're in the core's kill zone.
Rebel fighter is locked on.
doing?
Formation and ready.
I'm in position.
Fighter on my tail.
All X-Wings destroyed. The cores are safe. Here and ready to go. Another convoy of corvettes have arrived, Titan. Titan, regroup and prepare for the ambush. We're ready. Corvettes incoming.
Do we have enough cores to take them out?
We'd better.
Rebels are near the core.
Enemies behind you.
Enemy in position. Detonate the core.
Stuffed my hull. Kill that core. Kill those rebels.
Watch it. Core will kill you.
I suppose I should thank you.
Enemy ship is in the kill zone.
I feel like the cores are more scripted than they probably should be. And that's probably because the whole game has been really scripted. A lot. Have you noticed that? My personal favorite example is when a Nebulon B frigate exploded. And I got too close to it just because I was accidentally drifting over there. I wasn't supposed to be. And then it kept shooting at me. Because the object of the frigate was still there, even though it had an explosion effect pasted on top of it.
Oh, they're persistent.
They're in the blast zone.
Do not let them escape the minefield. Blast the core. Now.
Only one corvette left. Finish it.
Down you go. Thank me later.
Well done, Titan Squadron. Regroup.
Arcade flight loader. That's what I would call this.
Scum locked on.
Titan 3, follow me.
These fools. They underestimate Imperial's superiority. Superior strength, superior ingenuity.
Inferior ships, inferior pilots.
The Starhawk couldn't cross this field without knowing what it was flying into.
If the New Republic is willing to sacrifice this much, what does that tell you about the value of the Starhawk? That they're going to be devastated when we destroy it.
Too close to the core. Don't die.
Hit!
Yeah, I was talking about this recently in the Star Trek lore run. I don't mind if you use made-up physics in your setting as long as you're consistent about it. A good example of that is actually nebulas in Star Trek. Nebulas in Star Trek are total nonsense compared to what nebulas are in real life, but that's okay, because they use them that way very consistently.
Enemy ship is in the kill zone. I'm under their sights. Enemy missiles tracking you. You're welcome. Now you're clear.
We need to fly ahead and find more cores. It's the only way to stop the frigate.
Is it, though?
Careful, they're right on you.
Oh, okay, we're dead.
Frigate is changing course. They caught onto your trap. We need to fly ahead and find more cores. It's the only way to stop the frigate.
I'm finding their sights. There's a cluster of cores dead ahead.
Perfect. When the frigate nears that cluster, we'll detonate it. Titan 3, scan that core cluster to ensure it's active.
The rebels have no idea their frigate is heading straight to its doom.
They must not have noticed these cores.
Right.
Desperate, so they got sloppy. Worse.
Right.
Active cores confirmed. This is our last chance, Titan 3.
They're almost here.
Get ready. The frigate is almost in range of the cluster.
Wait for the right moment, then give them hell, Titan 3. Take the shot, Titan 3. It's now or never.
Impudent scum! I suppose I should thank you.
Nicely done. Frigate destroyed.
That's an understatement. Overseer, what's the situation? Return to the Overseer for refueling. We have them right where we want them. The Starhawk is changing course. They're terrified of you, Titan Squadron. We've diverted the rebels toward the Ringali Nebula. This is where Lyndon Javes and his wretched Starhawk will die.
Zero doubt, Luke. Like, they even called it out in the middle of the mission, like, oh my god, the rebels are going right for the cores, and they're sending wave after wave of their own ships into the... They must be very stupid. Yeah, honestly, ditto, Alchemist. I feel like Freelancer had the method I prefer as well, where you could just turn off you change whether or not your steering is affecting your aim or your thrust. So you just switch it to aim, and then you keep going whatever direction you were going, and you can go full 360, right? It was awesome. But anyways, so everybody in the universe loves the Darth Plagueis novel, Cashel, and that is my answer to you. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Hope. That's how we finally go back to being the Republic. How much gas is on that ship that is still venting fire into space? Oh yeah, by the way, someone asked earlier where the Force is. There it is.
Ardo asked if I saw a way through that minefield Titan set up. But no matter what path we took, we'd lose the fleet. I know it. So the commander took Ardo's second choice. We're heading into the Ringali Nebula. No long-distance comms, sensors are almost dark. It's a gamble, but it's better than no chance at all. When those missiles hit us back at the dockyards, I thought the Temperance was done for. Full shields, and they still almost tore us apart. But we got Terissa and Titan Squadron to chase us, instead of destroying Nadiri for good. That's what matters. Our next steps are unclear, like walking into fog. Better get to the briefing room.
That's so stupid, it didn't even occur to me how stupid that was until just now. Until they pointed that out. So, you have found the ship... first of all, you found an enemy shipyard. End statement. You have found a high-value target. But hang on, this is also the shipyard that's been building the enemy super weapon. And you decide, of all the things you could do, to go chase the falling apart, literally on fire, barely held together super weapon as it's flying away, instead of going after the shipyard, which is defenseless. Like, you could literally just park the Star Destroyer. Just park it right there and just be like, all right, have fun. Nope, no problems here. Except it looks like it's going to force me to fly a U-Wing soon. Cool backdrop over there.
Let me speak plainly, Vanguard Squadron. We're in trouble. We have the Overseer behind us, and Imperial reinforcements moving to cut us off. There's no way we'll fend them off. We need to send a distress call to our allies in the New Republic and hope they can reach us in time. The problem is, we're wounded, outnumbered, and the Ringali Nebula is already disrupting our long-distance communications. And luckily, General Syndulla has located an old broadcast hub that once orbited a nearby moon called Gallatin. If we restore the Gallatin broadcast hub, we can send a distress signal to New Republic forces outside the nebula. Chief Mechanic Zerelda Sage will lead a repair team to do just that. She'll also locate communication satellites in the area to boost our distress signal. The more active comsats we have, the stronger our transmission will be. Teresa surely knows this too. We can suffer minor losses with the comsats, but the more we have working, the faster we can signal Chandrila for help. But the Empire's fighters must not destroy the broadcast hub. We lose that, we won't survive. Keep Zerelda and the comsats safe. I'll call for aid as soon as you get the signal strength high enough. From there, all we can do is wait. And hope.
Okay. This is very desperate.
When I left the Empire, I tried to leave behind their views on morality and certainty. The core of Imperial doctrine is being certain that what you're doing is right. Doubt is seen as disloyalty. Now I understand that you have to look at your decisions with a clear heart and ask what more you could do, should do. For those who lead, doubt is necessary. The Starhawk project represents hope for an entire galaxy. It's bigger than any of us. I know you'd rather be defending the Starhawk, but I promise that reactivating the broadcast hub is the best thing you can do to ensure the project's survival. Good luck. I know you won't let me down.
You, did you know I used to be in the Empire? Hi, Warcraft Code. Now go play Civilization 6. But I have a challenge for you. You cannot play as any Italian-based state. Yeah, I was going to say, how many Starhawks were ever built? I know of 3. Sorry, 4. Counting the one that's on fire about 20 feet that way.
This will work. Vanguard Squadron has handled dangerous assignments before and performed brilliantly.
A deadly nebula on one side and a crumbling moon on the other. That gives us a slim margin of error.
It's this, or we come up with something more drastic. You know me, Ardo. There's always another way.
Trust me, General, I'm aware. I'm just letting you know that my crew is feeling the strain.
Noted. But I trust my people, you included, to make this happen.
Sorry, not now.
Well, you just now noticed I'm standing here listening to your conversation? Or were you expecting some kind of dialogue from me, like every single conversation in this entire game has been?
Listen, I know things seem tough, but we've stared down death more times than I can count. Stranded in a nebula? That's nothing. We survived the Xavian Abyss. Hunted down by an Imperial fleet? So what? If they could stop us, they would have done it by now. This is war. Everything we face is gonna be tough. That's why the New Republic entrusted this mission to us. To Vanguard Squadron. No matter how hard it gets, how hopeless it seems, or how tired we feel, Vanguard don't give in.
Alright, I quit.
Now let's go get them.
I'm out. Yeah, I don't want to overemphasize how good an ISD is, because Lord knows that it's not as good as some other ships, and there's some RL problems with that. But they're sacrificing multiple Imperial Star Destroyers to make a single Seahawk. Really think about that for a second.
You know, after Endor, I wasn't sure about staying with the New Republic. I'd fought the good fight, even shaken that death mark. I didn't see the point in going legit, so to speak. Figured I'd cash out, then get back to doing what I do best. It was Grace who changed my mind. The day I was set to leave, she pulled me aside and told me something I'll never forget. She said, "I'll miss you, Frisk." And back home on Dosh, my clan and I never got along. "You're too loud, Farisk. Why don't you like hunting, Farisk?" As soon as I could fly, I left. Made my own way. On my own. Until I met Vanguard. The only thing better than pulling one over on the Empire was flying with my Vanguard buddies. It had never occurred to me they felt the same way. The point I'm trying to make is, whether it's a life or death mission or just helping a Trandoshan feel at home, we make it work. So yeah, things look bleak, but when Vanguard flies together, there's nothing we can't do, especially with you around. And if we fail together. And no one will ever know because we'll be dead. Now that's a win in my book. Ready to go when you are.
Sure thing, Titus. Also, if if an Xbox Hawk can take on 2 Star Destroyers at once and costs 3 Star Destroyers. Hang on. So carry the 1. Yeah, forget about it.
You're in a U-wing, which is great news for me. I'll need all the support I can get out there. All these years on the Temperance, I've never deployed on a mission. I just fixed up what came back. I might be nervous. Scared, even. But I've seen what you and Vanguard can accomplish together. I'm ready. I won't let you down out there.
If I can complain about one other thing really quickly. Just really brief. Star Wars in general likes to hit the ISD button a little bit too much. Now I get why. It's a big, iconic ship. And for a good reason. That is a big, iconic ship. But in lore and in universe, and especially for the sake of storytelling, you really should only have an ISD when you mean it, right? You should pull out a big, birthy, death, battle, doom star when you mean it. Imperial-class Star Destroyer. Warcraft code. You've seen Star Wars, right? Yeah, no, same with Jedi and same with Sith. Absolutely. Hi, Blue Hero. Yeah, the ISD is one of the first things we see in all of Star Wars. Ever. And yeah, you should pull out that thing when you mean it. Yeah, that's one of the things I liked about Rebels, is a Star Destroyer was a big freaking deal. It's like, holy crap. I bring all that up because one of the things that I hate to keep comparing this. One of the things I liked about TIE Fighter was they weren't afraid to use all kinds of other ships, right? Like we had dreadnoughts and we had marauders. We had Corvette. We had multiple Corvettes. We had the gunships. We had the Carax light cruisers. Those were fun. We had the assault ships. Ooh. Yeah, we had the Lambda shuttles. Those were mean. Big ass turbo laser on the aft of a slow shuttle. Those things were much meaner than they looked. You get my point. So, lots of ships, lots of variety. Cool. And then when an ISD showed up, moving on. Oh yeah, Nebulon Bees, love the Nebulon. I do appreciate that they've been using Nebulons and Corvettes in this game. Look, it's not my fault that acronyms are awesome, also known as AAA. That's what makes this a AAA game.
U-Wings keep the squadron flying. This is a support fighter specializing in disabling enemy fighters and empowering the squadron.
I already hate it. I didn't like flying as the Reaper either. Oh, I remember that blade too. Hey, let me get my American accent going on. The Warcraft code. Wait, hang on. What I should be doing is using American accent to be doing the speaking. Now, if I wanted to speak Italian, I'd just be like, you gotta do this thing with your hands. It's very important. You can't speak Italian unless you do this thing with your hands.
Okay, Vanguard. The broadcast hub is close.
Okay, real talk for just a second. I saw the Star Destroyer out there, and I was like, why aren't we closer to it? Oh, right, we're the Republic again.
No, but still in one piece. Look what the nebula's done to that moon.
I dread what it could do to our ships.
Could be worse. We could be back in the Xavian abyss.
Or dead in the minefield.
See? Zarelda gets it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's an ISD. Yeah, like I'm sorry to harp on this point, but this viewpoint, I know it's frozen because I paused the game, but this viewpoint should be a moment of terror. This is what you should feel. I mean this is sincerely. If you're in a fighter game in Star Wars and you look up and you see that up there in the corner of your cockpit, that should be a like just pulling back into your seat like, oh Jesus. And that's what you should feel when you see that.
I'll have this old relic up and running in no time.
Well, let's get this done before the Empire notices we're out here.
I'm shaking in my boots. You're not nervous? Keo, I've seen Vanguard Squadron fly countless missions. What am I supposed to be worried about? Vanguard, I'm in. It's a mess in here. Stand by while I get this hub up and running. Hey, looks like the broadcast hub works. It works, but the system is a wreck. I'm gonna need some time to get all the comm sets back online.
Oh my god, no. Okay. So we keep talking about in a homeworld style RTS set in Star Wars, right? Picture this, okay? You have spent several missions weakening an Imperial-class Star Destroyer, right? You build up to this thing. It's the one Star Destroyer that is patrolling in your system or whatever, right? And so you spend multiple missions, you know, chopping off its supply chains, getting rid of the transport craft, doing hit-or-run shots in order to take care of the thing. And finally, you get to the point where you're going after the Star Destroyer itself. And it's a brutal, mean fight. Yeah, Blue Hero already knows where I'm going with this. It's this brutal fight, and you're just barely holding on, pushing this thing down, and then the homeworld sound effect happens, and that's when the other Star Destroyer warps in. It's just, oh god. And that's when you run, and the mission objective becomes survive, and you have to get to a jump point. And the second Star Destroyer has all of its fighter craft and all of its support ships, and they just kind of start swarming you. Anyways. Yeah, the sound happens. The screen goes letterbuck.
I think the Empire's figured out what we're up to.
Coming to join ya.
That's actually more complicated than you'd think, Warcraft code.
You're safe now.
So, hyperspace in Star Wars was, gotta use past tense, very well designed. And I mean that sincerely. I actually did a lot of research on how, people out of universe had come up with how various FTLs worked in several of the fictional settings I was aware of. And Star Wars was one of the best. Hyperspace was really, really cool. I'm not going to go down the whole list because it's a lot. There's actually a lot that goes into it. But here's the summary. Ship needs to shift into another dimension, and in so doing needs to push through that dimension in order to pop out at its extra destination. And it goes ludicrously fast, okay? Now, there's no literal lanes. Nobody built a highway through space in hyperlanes, right? Hyperlanes refer to areas that tend to be less full of debris or danger, or, and this is the big one, mass shadows. So anything that projects gravity also projects that gravity into hyperspace. Hyperspace in gravity in hyperspace kind of acts as a simultaneous shredding and objection, like a wall, right? So if you're trying to go through a mass shadow, it will simultaneously, you'll slam into it. But also, even if you keep pushing through, it will shred you as you're going through it, because the gravity is hitting like all of your ship simultaneously. Yeah, it's like a solid bubble. It's a good way to put that. So you need to avoid certain types of mass shadows. Now, everything projects gravity, of course. So it's only a certain level of density of gravity that you really need to worry about. The big ones, of course, being systems and planets, right? So those lanes are the spots where there's very, very, very few mass shadows in your way. So that's a safe place to travel. Make sense? So yeah, exactly. That's why you have to do calculations, because you can warp from anywhere, but where you are at the exact moment in time is going to be a hugely variable thing. It's why it takes so long and so much processing power to be like, okay, hang on, where the hell am I going, in order to line up and get on the exact angle in order to be able to do the hyperspace jump, right? Yeah, this is also why interdictors were so strong, because they could project an artificial mass shadow, or excuse me, a gravity shadow into hyperspace, which is like, bingo, Warcraft code, you get it. Now, there's other nuances here that are all very, very cool, which I, again, won't bore you with. But I should also mention that you can recklessly random jump, and every time you do, you are rolling a D100. And if you roll a 1, then you're probably fine. And that's probably highballing it. You have an extremely low chance. In fact, actually, I believe the Star Wars P&P book has rules for exactly how likely it is that you're going to die or worse, and what kind of malfunctions will happen to your ship if you just decide to do a random jump. That's dangerous as hell. Now, one of the other things, though, getting back to what you asked about specifically, is how frequently can you jump? So most ships in Star Wars, also true to Dakota, most ships in Star Wars have to build up an amount of power, which is then used to shunt the whole ship into hyperspace. And then when they're going through hyperspace, there also needs to be another bit of a build-up thing in order to shunt them back into normal space. So there's kind of a necessary gap in between going into hyperspace and then coming out of hyperspace. Again, none of this is true in the modern sequel movies or the AU, because in the modern sequel movies, it's just magic, and you just snap your fingers and you're wherever you want to go. But in the properly designed EU system that they had set up, there's a and then there's a and that's how you get in, and that's how you get out. The amount of time it takes depends on your generator, depends on your throughput of your engine, and it depends on how big your ship is. And yeah, this is why you can't really use hyperspace in combat. The most you could use for an in-space jump is an extremely precise jump in order to have a ship come in right next to a target. This was actually shown back in the Thrawn trilogy, of all things. Because what Thrawn would do, this is actually really clever, is he would throw out the interdictors, who would throw out a mass shadow along a specific vector, and then he'd feed that vector to his own ships, who would then hyper in along that vector. So they just move into position and then hyper along this vector and come out right where they needed to be, being able to do extremely precision strikes in ways that just bypass defenses. but that was risky and dangerous and required a specific setup to even be capable of doing. Make sense? Hyperspace was really well designed in EU. I mean that. I was actually really impressed with it. And I fully admit I actually designed my own FTL in large part based off of how Star Wars did it. But I digress. This is also why, for example, in TIE Fighter and X-Wing, whenever you hit the hyperspace button, there was a pause. You couldn't just enter hyperspace. You needed to calculate first. So if you're in the middle of a fight trying to get, and you're getting hit, then you have effectively turned off the metaphorical shields in order to be able to, enter hyperspace. Possible, risky as hell.
This is so much easier when I'm not under attack.
Yeah, I have no doubt that none of that was thought out in advance. Like, none of it. But it turned out pretty well, so I'm with it.
I'll finish that one. Comms are almost active. Enemy down.
Yep, that's exactly what your astromech is for. And if that doesn't sound impressive, please remember that an entire droid, whose only purpose is calculating navigational points, is sitting there dedicating essentially his entire CPU to calculating hyperspace as quickly as possible to make sure that you have the ability to make that jump. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Retcons don't bother me. Not really.
Hey, thanks.
What bothers me is bad retcons. Because retcons can be good or bad. This thing is a slug. The U-Wing, I think is what I'm in right now.
Ties are swarming the hub.
Honestly, that sounds like a cool idea that we could use in something, Baron.
Who wants a shield?
A droid straining itself to get a calculation quicker and actually burning out something.
Sorry, Zerelda, we'll keep them off you. 5, get a shield on that hub.
I don't even want to talk about the hold-up maneuver. I jokingly have threatened viewers with banning for talking about the holding maneuver. Obviously, that is a joke. I'm not going to do something so stupid. But God, screw the hold-up maneuver. And that's all I have to say about that. Screw the hold-up maneuver. Screw the arcing shots in space. Screw the slow-mode chase sequence that's boring. Screw that movie.
If you let me die in here, I swear I'll hunt you until the end of time. Step it up, Vanguard. 5, gives around that shield.
Well, yeah, Thrawn accomplished what I was talking about earlier, too. That implementation step. Again, if your crew at the base level, the individual people on the stations are drilled and prepped and motivated, they will implement your strategy much, much better. Even if your strategy is relatively simple or basic, it's going to hit a lot better because they know what they're doing with it. What should happen in the case of someone attempting a hold-up maneuver is, well, first of all, what should happen is the first thing is they'll try to go into hyperspace and immediately fail because its emergency safety will kick in. The second thing that should happen is if it actually decides to go into hyperspace, it will then shred itself on the, because the supremacy is pretty big, it puts out a pretty big mass shadow, so it would then shred itself on the mass shadow being generated into hyperspace, and then it would be just kind of atomic dust in hyperspace. So it's a great way to commit suicide.
That's the last of the ties.
They'll be back with friends, no doubt.
Well, that was a rough ride. Still, I'm not dead. Thanks for that.
Just doing our job.
Sure, Zara, I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. Hang on, let me readjust this so I can see chat a little better. Yeah, gotta get that YouTube approval in. There we go.
Sensors are now active. Keep them safe. The more we have, the stronger our distress signal. On your wing.
We need time for the comsats to strengthen our signal. Then I can broadcast our distress code to the New Republic.
Gotcha. We'll keep the Empire away from the comsats.
Both, as it happens, are.
Exactly. Because if we lose them all, we lose everything.
We lose everything. The war is over. I've seen that video, Zeros.
More ties headed our way.
It did look cool. That really is the sequel trilogy in a nutshell. Looking cool at the expense of everything else. Not regardless of everything else. Because remember, I'm with looking cool. I like Battletech. And Battletech is extremely stupid. I like Star Wars, which is extremely stupid. But when you are so focused, on trying to look cool at the expense of everything else, it just drags everything down, in my opinion. Yeah, pretty but empty. If I can rant for a second, how many of you have played Final Fantasy 13? If you have, well, you probably already know where I'm going. Wow, that hurt like hell.
Let's get to Comsat 1.
I might just be about to die because I don't have a heal.
Found a shield for you.
Outrun or outgun?
Let's do this for a second.
Keep it up.
They're attacking the Comsat.
Yeah, vacuous waste of work and money, FF13. But no, the reason I bring up FF13 specifically in this exact case, oh my god. Can I get a repair, please? I know I'm the repair guy, but can someone repair me, please? Please. Please.
They got a lock. Shields up. Enjoy.
Ah, thank you. Okay. So, FF13 is the definition of flashy without substance. And, that sucks. But there's a specific cutscene that always pisses me off the most in that. It's the racing cutscene. How many of you remember that, who have actually played it?
Get after those ties.
Let's get some fire on that.
I'm with you.
It's several minutes. Yeah, it's a trailer-bait cutscene. It's several minutes of completely meaningless drivel with absolutely nothing of substance happening whatsoever. And in fact, several things that happen in the cutscene are actually contradictory to what's been happening the entire game, both tonally and in literal events. It's the kind of cutscene that's going to be multiple negatives when we get there, when we finally review that game. Because for however pretty it is, the cutscene sucks, and that's the problem. When you focus that hard on style, at the expense of everything else, all you have is a screensaver. Pretty, but ultimately just there for the monitor than for the person actually looking at it.
We really gotta stop those ties.
Not those ties.
Have a shield.
Taking damage. Just a little longer. Comsat can't take much more of this.
No, the ISD is just over there doing its own thing.
We will protect it with our lives. Good, because we're all dead if this doesn't work. Comsat 2 needs support.
I do like the sound of the ions in this one.
Taking out your target.
Whoops.
We have ties incoming.
Really?
Do not lose that comsat.
I really hate being in the stupid U-Wing and not being able to actually contribute to the fight. Oh, don't mistake me. This would be great if, you know, I had support craft, which were either properly designed AI or players. But I have neither of those things, so instead I'm just sitting here hoping the other players actually... oh, God, what the hell? Oh, Jesus! Hoping the other AIs, which are terrible, will actually do their jobs.
Attack that. Nonsense. They're all gone. We can't call for help. It's hopeless.
Oh, we lost. Yay! Okay, cool.
All concepts are now active. Keep them safe.
Jesus Christ, we have to... okay.
Our distress signal. We need time for the comsats to strengthen our signal. Then I can broadcast our distress code to the New Republic.
Gotcha. We'll keep the Empire away from the comsats.
Exactly. Because if we lose them all, we lose everything.
Shut up.
You heard her. Keep the Empire off our comsats.
More ties headed our way.
Yeah, whenever we're playing as the Empire, the Republic just has dozens of corvettes. And whenever we're playing as the Republic, the Empire just has dozens of fighters. I'm sensing a trend here.
Let's get some fire on that.
They sent TIE bombers. That's not good.
Whoops.
You're clear.
Let's get the concept one. On your wing, pal.
Well, look at that. Ace shot.
You know, honestly, I think I agree with you, Blade Chaval. It's a very clear example of because plot, but as you say, it's very internal continuity. They're taking turns using this turn. No. It's like they're playing fair, right? It's like your typical strategy game. One person gets a turn, and the other person gets a turn. So like, okay, pump out corvettes. Pump out corvettes. Okay, other person's turn. Pump out ties. Pump out ties. I'm just sitting here in the middle like, could you build anything else? All right,
Enemies locked onto me.
You're okay.
I'll pay you back for that.
Don't let the Empire near the comsat.
And then Palpatine has a turn, and he's like, I've got an idea. Ah!
Coming to join you.
So I realized, and this is my fault, I wasn't telling the AI to attack every single time I targeted something new. Which I should have. Because they, as we've already established, they don't attack things, really, unless you tell them to.
You can always count on me.
Thanks.
So, I just have to hit H every single time I target something right now.
Scratch one.
Oh, that would be awesome, Dakota. Doubt it, but that would be awesome.
We only have 2 comsats left.
How did... okay.
Defensive positions. Comsat under fire.
Which one? Could you say which one is under attack?
Shield for you. Fence is up.
Is that a thing we could do? No? Okay.
May I join you? Comsat 2 needs support.
Gotcha.
Ion is underrated.
Hit it.
Listen, it's space. There's a lot of empty stuff in space. That's what people keep telling me. So I can just zip through all this stuff. It's cool. And here comes like another entire squadron. By the way, whenever I say squadron, I mean 12. That's actually going off of supplementary material and some real life stuff, but just pointing out, that's what I mean when I say squadron. 12.
Comsat can't take much more of this.
Lucky I was around,
Have a shield.
Mind your back.
3 wings. Or, sorry, 3 flights. Each flight consisting of 4. That TIE bomber just straight up rammed that. I can't argue. That's what I've been doing this whole game.
Got another shield for you.
Listen, Solar Galaxy. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've been playing the whole game like that too, because I'm stupid.
Ties are all over the comm set.
Kill that, please. Thank you. They're actually killing now that I'm hitting H.
Get after those ties.
We really gotta stop those ties.
We've got another shield. Let's get some fire on that.
Of course, Warcraft code. My genius lay undetected for years.
That can't take much more of this.
You're safe.
Taking out your target.
Imperial jamming ship just entered the area.
Yeah, you want... Okay. So I'm going to kill all the ties. And a ship. Sure, I can do that. Why not? And here comes more ties, because of course.
They're chasing you. Shake them off.
Trying enemy fire. Sorry, Zorda. We're trying.
Enemy's locked on.
Got them. Jamming ship destroyed.
The ties are pulling back.
Why?
Their reinforcements are running scared.
Looks like our work here is done. Yes! Signal's back at full strength. Ready when you are, Commander Javes.
Attention. This is Commander Javes calling from the Ringali Nebula, requesting emergency assistance. Thanks, Zerelda. We couldn't have done it without you.
You're damn right.
I was thinking that earlier, Dakota.
I'm in formation.
Commander Javes, we're regrouping with Zerelda and heading back to you. Okay. The Temperance is headed to the far side of the moon. We'll meet you there. Commander, where's the Starhawk? It was more badly damaged than we thought. General Syndulla has evacuated all personnel to the Temperance.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't just hand wave that. Starhawks, sorry, by that I mean Game Boy Hawks, are larger than Imperial Star Destroyers. The Imperial Star Destroyers have a general crew of about 40,000 people. How do you casually just evacuate a ship that size? Now, I know. They probably don't have tens of thousands of people on board. That's true. But still, like, have you ever thought about the logistics of emptying a ship? Yes, that is her Warcraft code. Yeah, it's the Yamato in space. Okay, moving on. Now, if I could say one thing really quick. It's a lot of work to maintain continuity, even loosely, for a large-scale IP, something like Star Trek or Star Wars. I have actually studied both Star Trek and Star Wars professionally for many years, and I think I think it is something that I am tentatively willing to go ahead and say is actually possible. What it would need is it would basically need a chain of information going between the people actually writing and creating the works, and then the people whose job it is to try and keep things straight. Now, I know they used to have the Continuity Council or whatever for the EU, who kind of did their job, but they also had like the tiers of continuity thing, and they didn't do their job properly. I'm just gonna say it as bluntly as I possibly can. There should be, my opinion, there should be a straight manual which covers the basics, right? Basic rules of the setting. Here's what the Force is. Here's what hyperspace is. Here's how fuel works. Here's how lightsabers work. You know, base stuff that's the kind of thing that's going to show up in a large number of stories that you need to understand how that works in order to be able to write your story. That reading that Bible and understanding it should probably be step one of doing anything within Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever, right? So here's the Bible, read that, cool. Next step, okay, I want to do this story. That outline should go up the pipe. It should be glanced through, and I should say, all right, here's the obvious issues, or here's no issues whatsoever, or here's something I think you should do better. And it's interesting that I'm saying all this because if you're familiar with both Star Trek and Star Wars, both have dipped their toes into this concept more than once, and both have deliberately tried to avoid doing this more than once. A very infamous quote is from Kurtzman, I believe it is. It was Kurtzman or Berman, one of the idiots, who said, look, you just can't keep all of Star Trek straight. Nobody actually cares about keeping all of Star Trek straight. And also, I'm a moron and I eat seals. And I might be misquoting slightly. But either way, what's hilarious is the exact example that was being used in that quote was immediately proven wrong. And, you know, we live in 2024. Memory alpha exists. You know what I mean? Now, memory alpha is not exactly the end-all, be-all, but what I mean by that is if we have reached a point where we can have a searchable, filterable database of information about a setting to help us keep stuff straight, maybe the excuses aren't as valid as they used to be. If I can spend 3 minutes Googling something to say, oh, this won't work because such and such, maybe the writers should consider doing that too. Now, hang on. To be fair, I understand that only applies to things in past tense. So, for example, if 3 people are making the story simultaneously, you don't really have that option. You need to actually physically reach out to the other person and say, hey, what you doing? To make sure that you don't cross lines. I also think, personal opinion, I also think that too many writers have the desire to go big. They want world-impacting, gigantic things which change everything forever. I'm going to have Darth Vader ride a kaiju, and I'm going to show the secret origin story of, like, this one dude who is actually behind all these other things. And this over here is going to destroy the entire universe if it doesn't happen. And you get it, right? A lot of writers want to go big. And if I might be so blunt, some of those writers should be told no. In my opinion, specifically when it comes to a large-scale IP like Star Wars or Star Trek, you need to ignore Huthor, whatever he's about to say. It looked funny, Malachor. You need to be a little bit more precise with your big stuff, your setting-altering stuff, right? If you're going to introduce a character who is secretly the reason that Luke Skywalker was crafted in a lab or something, just off the top of my head, then maybe you should actually save that for the one, the big stories, the stories that really matter, either the movies or a specific show, or just keep it for a periodic thing instead of deciding to go ahead and do that every single comic and every single game and every single movie and every single show. My opinion. What's the news, Huthor?
We can't abandon it.
We can lose our Starhawk prototype, but not the people who built it. You're gonna help them escape.
How, boss? The Temperance's hyperdrive is busted.
They're working on it, but don't worry. I'll buy you enough time.
Huthor, I want you to feel the pit of dread that sentence just built into me. I want you to feel that. Gonk.
friends. Years ago, the rebellion welcomed me. Today, I feel honored to join the fight.
Sir, you can't.
Have faith, Kyo. Besides, if there's one person who can keep Juris's attention, it's me. I need you to lead our defenders. The future of Project Starhawk and maybe the New Republic itself is in your hands.
All due respect, sir. You won't last a second out there alone.
Actually, I agree with you, Lord Harriman.
Alone? No. But thanks to you, I've been able to call in some help.
Commander James, this is Anvil Squadron. We got your message. We're here to help.
Good luck, Vanguard. And may the Force be with you.
Yep, he's retiring next week. That is so horrible, Huthor. That is so disgustingly horrible. Let's enjoy Jedi Survivor while we can, because it might have been the last good Star Wars game for about a decade. You can quote me on that.
When I was a police officer on Parkella, I'd spend weeks fighting red tape to arrest a racketeer or a slaver gang. People who were obviously guilty. I enlisted with the Empire because it gave me the power to do what was necessary. Deliver justice to the galaxy. Flying ties is more dangerous than chasing crooks. Every time I fly out of this hangar, I know it could be my last. But I come back. Time and again. I'm so tired of arguments about Imperial morality. I've heard pilots question our Empire. They wonder if our methods were right. But they always forget one thing. The simple fact is this. We have the power, so we have determined what is right. When you're out there, never forget that you get to decide who lives and who dies. You've earned that power. Let's go. The captain is waiting.
But you lost and are still losing. And that also, yeah, that dialogue came out of absolutely nowhere. Oh. Oh no, Thor. So, the evil devil and the con artist have glowing quotes about that. For those of you who don't keep up on the entertainment industry and corporate America as much as I do, first of all, Bob Iger is a legitimately evil man. Let's just get that out of the way. And Tim Sweeney is an actual con artist. That's not actually a joke. So the two of them, that's not great. Disney has put out some good stuff over the years. And I mean that. Good stuff has come out under Disney's label. But I don't know what else to add to that. Like, that's the nicest thing I could say about the direction that Disney has taken several of the IPs they have consumed in the last about 15 years. And then there's Epic, which I've been anti-Epic for a long time. In fact, I have been very public about the idea that if a game comes out only on Epic Game Store, then as far as I'm concerned, it's not even out. Yeah, no kidding, Takoida. So you've got Epic and Con Artist with Disney and Evil Jackass. I shouldn't call him a jackass. That's actually a compliment to someone like him. Evil monster. And we combine these two forces together, and they want to make video games for, let's see, what was the full list? Where was that article? They want to make games for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. So again, when I say that this right here might be the latest and last good Star Wars game for a decade, you can quote me on that, because I have issues with this game. Its story is drivel. But you notice I am still enjoying myself despite everything, right? Like, you've caught that? Yeah, we might literally see Mobage take it up a notch. Remember, Mobage is actually a relatively recent invention. There were mobile games that had microtransactions, but Mobage was a development of that. It was an evolution of that. And then Survivor came out. Oh, actually, I guess Survivor did come out after this. My bad. Sorry. Jedi Survivor is probably the most recent good Star Wars game. But Mobage was a development of mobile game crap, which was a development of the microtransaction craze. Things can get worse, is what I'm trying to say. Let's get on with it.
We've done it. With Vanguard Squadron backed into a corner, Lyndon Javes has made his last mistake. We have confirmation that Lyndon has joined the fray. That's not all. He's leading the same rebel squadron we decimated at Mon Cala. This is a calculated move. Lyndon wants me to do something reckless. He thinks he knows me. But he's wrong. We're not going to take the bait. Titan Squadron will focus on our real target, the Starhawk. Admiral Sloane is counting on us. I wish I could deal with Lyndon personally. But a commander's true weapon is a squadron, not a starfighter. Go. Complete your mission. And if you get Lyndon in your sights, strike him down once and for all.
Could you look over here where I am, please? Yeah, I also like how now she's decided to focus on the Starhawk, even though twice before she's chosen not to, and it's cost her.
Is everyone here for the briefing?
This is it, Titan Squadron. Our moment of victory is at hand. The Temperance has broken off from the Rebel fleet, but no matter. Our focus is the Starhawk. And thanks to the reinforcements from Admiral Sloane, we now have it surrounded. The Starhawk suffered catastrophic damage from our Baradium assault, and has had no opportunity for repairs. If I'm correct, a careful strike to the ship's tractor beam core should turn it into a floating time bomb. Reaching the Starhawk will not be easy. The rebels managed to call in reinforcements of their own. Anvil Squadron, to be precise. Lyndon Javes is handling Anvil Squadron's tactics personally. Anvil took heavy losses at Mon Cala, but they still have starfighters and a grudge. Destroy them. They're also fielding a Nebulon B frigate. We have a raider on hand to assist you. Once you reach the Starhawk, you must breach its armor to attack the core. Scans indicate there's an undetonated Baradium missile lodged somewhere in the Starhawk's hull. Exploit that. With the hull breached, a single fighter can fly inside the Starhawk to attack its tractor beam core. We have no idea what to expect on the inside. Do what you must to start a core overload, and then escape to the Overseer while there's still time. All our work and sacrifice has led to this, Titan. Do not let Lyndon Javes stop you now.
Well, at least now we know why the ship is so damn big. It has space inside so you can fly into it. The reason it has space inside so you can fly into it is because...
This is it. Destroying that Starhawk makes us heroes. And heroes have influence. A smart person could parlay that influence. Become Admiral Sloane's aide, perhaps. Once in the heart of Imperial power, you can guide it. From there, anything's possible. Even the foundations of a new Senate. Now all we have to do is win. Oh, don't worry. I'm not losing sight of what we must do. But this is about more than ending a war. A true future for the Empire, beyond Death Stars and Rebels, is within our grasp. That is what I'm fighting for. Whatever you're fighting for, remember it today.
Okay. What am I fighting for? Oh, sorry.
Captain, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that our odds of success are substantially lower than usual.
Are you saying Titan Squadron is no match for a broken down rebel fleet?
Oh. No, not at all. Your record is very impressive. It's just that these rebels are desperate. That makes them especially dangerous.
A valid observation, LT-514. I expect you will keep it in mind.
I took this posting to see how squadron tactics really work in the field, and I discovered how little I really knew. But now I have enough material to submit an entire intelligence databank on Titan Squadron, and yourself in particular. Watching you hunt rebels has been very educational, and rather fun. Thank you. It's been an honor to observe.
You've made yourself indispensable. Titan Squadron would not have been the same without you. When I called you to serve, you answered without hesitation. I won't forget it. The battle is waiting. Do not disappoint me.
Okay. Let's see what Angry Lady has to say.
Anvil Squadron makes no difference. Once the Starhawk is gone, we'll be one step closer to ending this war. But the end of the war doesn't mean the end of our duty, does it? Captain Carroll may be satisfied with destroying the Starhawk, but it's only one ship. Enemies of the Empire exist all across the galaxy. I'll deal with them myself if I have to. Sounds like a good retirement to me. Let's finish this.
I mean, I don't mean to brag. I could write a better story than this in 3 weeks. And I know that because I have 3 times. But I really don't... Luthor, no. I do still feel bad for them that the story was given so little support. And so little time, and so little effort, and so little budget. I really do feel bad for them. You really can feel... You remember Oxygen Not Included? You do. In Oxygen Not Included, it's pretty much the exact same thing. They very clearly... they very clearly started with game, right? And no real narrative thread, no real narrative connective thing. And they kind of tacked on the narrative later. And it shows. In both games, the story was honestly not particularly good. And so I feel for the writers of this game, like specifically the writers, because you can just feel how each of these missions was clearly designed. And then, oh, right, now that we've got our objective-based cool mission thing, cool. We have to have a reason why we're doing it. Okay, hang on. Right, I've got it. So there's this super ship, right? And it's called, what are we gonna? We're gonna call it the VR Boy Hawk, and it's gonna just be like going through space. And this one, it's gonna be super cool, it's super powerful, and the Imperials have to stop it. How do they stop it? We're gonna flip it on them. We're gonna make it a Death Star. It's a Death Star? No, not literally. It's just got a giant cannon on front that can destroy ships in one blast. Okay, cool, we got this. And you could just feel the desperation in as they're trying to put this thing together.
The war goes on. Didn't stop at Endor. Won't end with a Starhawk. Whatever's destroyed rises again. I've lived it. They need soldiers, pilots. Always have. Always will. Rebels or Republic. We know our duty. Take strength in that. You fly. I'll follow.
War. War never changes.
This is it then. Captain Carroll needs you in a TIE fighter, bomber, or interceptor. Your choice.
Hang on, let's make sure I have the right one. Let's go with that.
Hoped you'd pick that.
Keep that. Keep. Yeah, sorry, fascism while we're here. Gotta get that out for YouTube. I mean, that sounds like fun, Alchemist.
Titan Squadron is ready. On your order, Captain.
I've come to expect nothing less.
I mean, that's impressive visually. I wish I could see more of it, but, you know.
The Starhawk is straight ahead, but you will have to cut through the Republic fleet to reach it. Overseer to Imperial Raider. Help Titan break through the Republic lines. Yes, ma'am. Moving to position. Heads up! Incoming fighters! Titan, destroy those fighters now.
Okay.
You should have wiped us out of Moncala.
Thanks for the second chance.
And if you're looking for me, Teresa, I'll just be over here with the rest of Anvil, taking out this Star Destroyer. It's a shame you won't come face me.
Traitor! How dare you talk to us about shame? Titan is my weapon, poised to deliver the Empire's vengeance.
Right. Anvil leader, when you're finished there, come join us.
Anvil dies today.
I want those fighters gone.
The Starhawk and Anvil Squadron. All in
You know, Maneater had a better story than this.
Spoiled for choice.
And I mean that.
after you.
Worry about yourself next time.
Let's take them apart. I'm in formation.
They're shooting at me.
We have to clear those fighters.
They're right behind you.
Quite the talent.
Yeah, honestly, Maneater still had a net positive story. And also, I hate to say this, but I thought TIE Fighter had a pretty decent story. And I can say that because I've reviewed it under the current system. So, just a couple of years ago.
Finish them off.
I want that gone.
I mean, hell. Oh god, Free Space? No. I'm thinking the wrong one. Which one was the Shivans? I know that's vague, but I'm struggling to think of any other names right now.
Nice targeting.
Free Space. I was right. Free Space. There's a solid story in a flight game. Not the best. It's not War and Peace, but it was solid, and I enjoyed it. It even had whole crap moments and some really good, like, just
Thank me later.
set piecing.
Now back in the fight.
I had it under control.
See you around, Baron. Have a good day at work. Or night at work.
So, they're locking off.
They're losing fighters fast.
Keep it up, Titan.
I didn't need your help. You see it? Take it out.
Actually, yeah. Played Jamal.
Enemy frigates on full offensive.
I don't remember how all of the Ace combats lined up story-wise. Off the top of my head, I mean.
You see it? Take it out.
Enemy fighters on your tail.
Lucky I was here.
Yeah, the Shivan Dreadnought was just... whew. Yes, I named myself Evil McEvilson, and I named the Rebel pilot Good McGoodson. Because I could tell immediately the type of tone that the game was going to go for, and I was right. Yeah, I feel like Zero was still a net positive on story. I could be wrong. I still like Zero really, really well. Zero with the quality of life features of 7. Oof. Ugh.
I want that door. Take it out.
I said you'd pay for attacking Moncala, Titan. When your empire finally crumbles...
That would have been funny, Blue Hero. Evil McEvilson, we must save the puppies! It's the only way! Yeah, Zero was solid. I liked Zero.
Shooting. Fighter on your rear.
I mean, honestly, I liked all 4 of the ones we played. To differing extents. It's just some of them pissed me off more than others.
Be careful next time.
I suppose I should thank you.
Shut up, Darren DePaul. Your amazing dulcet tones will not save you this time.
One more from me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that ISD could absolutely take on the Nebula. I'm just saying, or Nebulon, excuse me. It does not need us.
All fighters destroyed. Good. Now focus on that frigate. Radar here.
What?
Moving to support Titan Squadron.
What are these?
These Republic fools. Trapped, outnumbered, and they refuse to accept it.
I'm sorry, did I miss something? Why are there 2 other destroyers out there fighting something? I must have legitimately spaced. Why do we suddenly have fleet reinforcements?
Our empire sweeps them aside.
But where did they come from?
Titan, defend that raider.
Your primary target is the enemy frigate.
Drawing part.
Yeah, sure, let me just take out a Nebulon B and a TIE Interceptor. I know, I can switch to a bomber. Yeah, there's just... And it's just background. They're just off there shooting at the Genesis Hawk.
Better luck next time.
That frigate can't hold out much longer.
Bring it down.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Frigates are nice, big, chonky workhorse ships that I have a lot of praise and respect for, but you pull an ISD up alongside this thing, it's dead. Like, honestly, in seconds.
Throwing fire.
Do I seriously have to do the killing blow? Okay, fine. Here you go. Killing blow.
Enemy frigate down. The path to the Starhawk is clear.
Yeah, can I get a refill, please?
To breach the Starhawk's vault to get inside.
Please? Give me my ship speed back, please?
Titan, stay alert. More enemy capital ships are incoming.
Titan, split up and attack. Let's go.
It's their funeral.
Anvil Squadron, rally around our reinforcements. You can still surrender, Titan. To scum like you, never. I was hoping you'd say that.
So now we have to fight 2 Corvettes and another Nebulon.
One shot at a time.
I'm sorry, but no.
Resistance.
I did. That's why I called in ships from the Vormir sector. And here they are.
Corvette is destroyed.
Hey, we have reinforcements?
Both corvettes annihilated.
Oh, goody. We've got a raider and a... I don't even remember what that stupid thing is.
Frigates damaged.
It won't be long now.
Commander James, we have Imperial reinforcements incoming to our location. You've got this, Envo. They're desperate.
Notice how once again, if we were piloting that stupid little carrier, or rather if our home ship was a stupid little carrier, this would continue to make more sense.
Wins a battle. And fury. Got it. Enemy frigate is destroyed.
Damn it. We've lost our capital ships. Anvil, fall back to my position and regroup. Roger.
Game. Game.
Now for the Starhawk. Titan Squadron, close in.
Titan, this is it. Follow.
Oh my god, there's actually 3 ISDs over here now. I thought there were just the 2. We have 4... Yeah, no, that gets its own negative. That is nonsense. 4 ISDs. First of all, being deployed to a single battle in general should be a big deal. Second of all, 4 ISDs being deployed at this point in Imperial history, when they're low on resources, low on personnel, low on supplies, low on ships, and low on territory, should be a huge deal. Third of all, 4 ISDs should be an A move across a battlefield. As long as they're doing their frickin' job. Yeah, every time I... Exactly, this is the Spanish Inquisition. 4 elements of ISDs. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 elements of ISDs. God. Yeah, suddenly this is a huge battle that will be decided by one dude and a TIE Interceptor.
Because they built it from Imperial Durasteel.
Anvil will be back.
Too late to save their battleship. You'll need to breach the Starhawk's hull to get inside.
Okay.
Make your way to the Beradium missile. End the Starhawk.
Oh, where is it? Seriously, where is it?
Look out. Turrets are active.
What are they shooting at?
You have it. Target the missile and breach the Starhawk.
There are 8 Nebulon Bs over there.
We'll defend the breach.
Holding the line against 3 ISDs, and they're just kind of plunking at each other.
Lucky I was here.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. Ugh.
The tractor beam's containment is... Look, just get to the core and watch out for gravitational anomalies.
Sure.
Boost thrusters if you need to. But remember, the tight space will make that tricky. Don't forget to give yourself room to decelerate.
Commander,
Oh my god.
just breached the Starhawk's hull. They're inside.
Can I go into this? Okay, I can't.
Teresa, what are you up to?
I'm finishing what I began at Nadiri. Push through. Use your boost thrusters if you have
Alright, I actually forgot I brought a repair thing for this ship. I brought it pretty specifically, because I figured this would be a boss fight.
I'm reading strange gravity effects inside that core.
Oh my god. Oh my god! It's like pushing and pulling me, if it's not extremely obvious by what's happening here.
You should be close to the core's emitters. Zero in and fire.
Oh my god. 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 Oh my god! This really is just Star Fox at this point. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. So this is why they got rid of collision damage. Okay, that tracks.
Just a little more.
Don't mind me. This is very acceptable. Whoa, whoa, whoa there. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait. Calculations show the core is about to release a gravity burst.
Titan 3. That burst will fire you out of the core like a blaster bolt. Center yourself with the entrance. You can ride the shockwave.
This is the entrance, right?
It might be tricky. Relax. Stay nimble and steer clear of the walls.
Yeah, gotta have a trench run in these.
Gravity burst incoming.
Steer carefully. The gravity fluctuations might knock you off course. Titan 3, brace yourself.
Oh, Jesus. And we're dead. Just, they even gave me like 10 seconds warning. It's like, yeah. No, you're dead. Oh, bull crap!
Zero in and fire. Stay away from the center.
There should have been a checkpoint after this. There should have been a checkpoint. Before you launch me out of an insta-kill nonsense.
Just a little more. Yes, core is... Wait. Calculations show the core is about to release a...
There should be a checkpoint like right here. I don't even have my hands on the controls.
That burst will fire you out of the core like a blaster bolt. Center yourself with the entrance. You can ride the shockwave out. It might be tricky. Relax. Stay nimble and steer clear of the walls.
But I like the walls. The walls are my friends. Oh god, okay, here we go. I have a little bit more of an idea what's coming now.
The gravity fluctuations might knock you off course. Titan 3, brace yourself. Titan 3 is clear. You did it. The Starhawk's core has become a time bomb. Nothing can stop it from overloading now.
Guys?
Star Destroyer down. Our people saved. And we're just getting started. Handle with me. Yes, sir.
Don't you dare fight James without me.
You'll have to go through us first.
It's time to kill the final boss.
It's in your hands now. Titan 3, I gave you a chance at Falstar Haven. I wish you'd taken it.
It was the only way.
We will never give in to fear.
Fear is my ally. Or wait, I'm not Darth Maul. What am I talking about?
Gathering missile.
I don't think I'm doing any damage to him. At all. Okay, that time I just missed him, but I've hit him several times and it's done nothing. Yeah, his shields are just completely ignoring it. Straight up. What do you want from me, game? This feels like I'm supposed to do something scripted. Unless it really does just want me to push through the Omega shields of the boss here. Which, that is possible. And yeah, he is just straight up jousting. I have not scratched his paint yet.
His shields are depleted.
Finally.
He's using the Starhawk for cover.
He is? He's right here, dude. And his shields are back. How did you... Okay. What are you doing?
Gravity burst from the Starhawk.
Lyndon Spicer took the worst of it. I won't insult you by asking for your surrender, Lyndon.
Darcy, I underestimated you. Not just your talent. Your willingness to be used by an empire that will destroy you.
Can you just...
You never knew me at all.
His shield regeneration is disabled. He's vulnerable.
He had... What?
No repairs, no shields. Just like my first tie. Let's see how good you really are.
End this, Titan 3. Quickly.
If you just left at Vostar Haven, Teresa, think what you could have achieved.
Well, here's your legacy, Lyndon. Smoldering wreckage over a broken world.
When this is over, look at the empire you serve and ask why.
Betraying your people for principles doesn't make you noble, Lyndon.
Not in your eyes, maybe, but in the eyes of those that I've saved.
This is all dramatic and all, but can we get on with this, please? You've just got 1 billion health and armor and everything. Well, that heal did nothing. And we're dead. How far back are we?
Fight James without me.
You'll have to go through us
At
first.
the beginning?
Titan 3, we're pinned down. It's in your hands now. Titan 3, I gave you a chance at Vostar Haven. I wish you'd taken it.
Well, I'll guarantee finish the game today.
You haven't won yet.
God, I hate jousting. Worst part is, as near as I can tell, I have to do enough damage to, like, trigger the dialogue. Even though I'm not actually doing any damage, I'm kind of, like, progressing the cutscene, you know?
Don't you dare fight James without me.
You'll have to go through us first. Titan 3, we're pinned down. It's in your hands now. Titan 3, I gave you a chance at Vostar Haven. I wish you'd taken it. His shields are depleted. He's using the Starhawk for cover.
Wow, that is a gap.
you serve and ask why.
Betraying your people for principles doesn't make you noble, Lyndon.
Not in your eyes, maybe, but in the eyes of those that I've saved.
His shield regeneration is disabled. He's vulnerable.
All right, enough games. No repairs, no shields. Just like my first tie. Let's see how good you really are.
Did you know he used to be an Imperial?
Titan 3.
Because I think he used to be an Imperial.
If you just left and Boss Haven to decide.
It's done. Thank you, Titan 3. So perish all traitors. Imperial ships, prepare to withdraw.
They're refusing, Captain. They plan to eliminate the rebel fleet.
Fools. Our mission is complete. Take us to Lightspeed. Leave their Starhawk to burn.
Okay.
Titan Squadron. With Admiral Sloane's unerring support, we have left Project Starhawk in ruins. Vanguard Squadron is doomed. Imperial ideals have prevailed. Loyalty, duty, discipline. And with our latest champion, we shall ascend to even greater heights. Titan 3 has been promoted to Flight Baron, with full honors. Well done. Your future with the Empire is bright. I take pride that the death of Lyndon Javes sends a message to all who would betray us. That wherever the enemies of the Empire may arise, Titan will be waiting, no matter the cost. This war is our crucible. We will emerge triumphant and bring this new republic to its knees.
Cool. Thank you, Hive King. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. What's really sad is I liked that mission until the last boss fight there. Meanwhile, is this stupid ship still not blown up?
Come join us.
Like, seriously. Yeah, let's see how we wrap this up, shall we?
Ardo confirmed what you already knew, Kyo.
The commander is gone.
No.
You know he did the right thing, though. The civilians needed us. The commander sent Vanguard where we were needed most.
Of course. This is what he fought for. That's why it hurts so much.
Whatever happens next, this is the end of the line. I just wanted to say, I know we haven't flown together very long, but if I'm being honest, it feels like you've always been here. I speak for everyone in Vanguard when I say, it's been a pleasure fighting beside you.
I know we have a mission, but we also have each other to lean on and to protect. You've got my back out there, and I have yours, no matter what. Okay, General Syndulla is waiting for us in the briefing room. Shall we?
I'm really curious where they're going to go with this. Because this is the last mission, I think. So where the hell, like, where do we go from here?
I'm sorry that our first real meeting is under such tragic circumstances. We're all feeling Lyndon's loss. But we're cornered. You and Vanguard have held back the Imperials, but we must get those civilian engineers out safely. I need you focused and ready to go. Lyndon saw you as a leader, an inspiration even. That's the courage I need right now. Let's get you and the others briefed. There isn't much time.
I've got a brilliant strategy, Aunt Diddy.
Thanks to your work on the comsats, Anvil Squadron heard our call, and with Lyndon Javes bought us time to repair our ships for escape. But now the Imperial fleet has Anvil's ships pinned down. They can't get out. So we're going back into the fight, because we need to buy everyone time to escape. No one left behind. Ardo thinks we have one chance. It's drastic, but here it is. The moon is highly unstable, and the Imperial ships are positioned around it. If we crash the Starhawk into the moon's core, the shockwave should destroy those Imperial ships and let us escape, if we're fast. How? The ship's tractor beam is firing uncontrollably as it overloads. If we can get a couple of corvettes into that beam, we can tow it up to speed. Vanguard Squadron, you're up first. We're counting on you to clear the path and take out the closest Star Destroyer. Corvettes will then enter the tractor beam, and if Ardo's plan works, get the Starhawk moving. It should have a straight shot. Defend our fleet, in case the Imperials get wise to what we're doing. When the Starhawk collides with that moon, the shockwave will hit every Imperial ship in range. And you, unless you outrun it. It's risky, but sacrificing this Starhawk will save our fleet, and the engineers who will build the next one, and the next. The future of the New Republic depends on it. Let's finish this.
I'm sorry, we only got like a grand total of 3 Starhawks ever, right? Excuse me, PSP Hawks.
You should know, Lyndon always spoke highly of you. He never forgot what you did for him at Fostar Haven. I know war takes its toll. Even when the Imperials attacked Mon Cala, I had to keep my head. But Lyndon was a friend. He knew exactly what he was doing when he challenged Teresa. Doesn't make it any easier. The Overseer has fallen back, but the other Imperial ships still have us pinned down. You and Vanguard are our last chance. I believe in you. But more importantly, I believe in Vanguard Squadron. Lyndon bought us time. I know you'll all make it count. Get to your ship. Every moment matters now.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard not to be negative, but in my defense, this is really stupid. I do feel really bad. I mean, Alchemist is correct. Obviously, Hera doesn't know that all of this is going to lead to nothing, but A, the writers know that. And the writers constantly talking about how this is the one battle to end the war and be the one big thing that's the super biggest thing ever to big in the history of being big is not helping. And 2, we've had one big battle to beat the Empire, canonically, like 4 times at this point, historically.
We were able to evacuate all personnel from the Starhawk. Engineers, technicians, mechanics. We took a big loss today. Those who died at Nadiri. Lyndon, it won't be in vain. So long as we survive, so does Project Starhawk. And with it, the future of the New Republic.
Yeah, listen to her.
Fortunately, the Imperials didn't seize control of Nadiri. They were too busy chasing us off. I've already sent Meteor and Hail squadrons to secure the dockyards. Now all we have to do is make it out of here. To your fighter. There isn't much time.
Come on, look at me. I'm not scared. We'll get through this. We always do.
How do you know?
'Cause we never let each other down, that's why. So, after we pull this off, because we will, what are you gonna do?
This isn't the end of the war, Frisk. It's just one more battle.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we've earned ourselves a whole pile of day passes. You ever been to the Last Hand on Nar Shaddaa? Best cantina in the Outer Rim.
What a relief. For a moment there, I thought you were taking this seriously. It's strange where conscience leads you. It took me from being a daughter of Imperial lackeys all the way to this tipping point. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss my family. Regardless of their loyalties, they are still my parents. My sister. But in Vanguard Squadron, I found a family I could stand beside proudly until the very end.
Who are you again?
Whatever happens next will be our legacy. And I'm proud to share it with both of you.
You, Gunny, Keo, you're all acting like this is the end.
Yeah.
The only one who remembers we're Vanguard Squadron. We have to survive. The galaxy ain't gonna save itself. Let's go. Ain't every day you crash a Starhawk into the moon.
Attention all decks. Hangar 10 is off limits until further notice.
I still like Frisk. It's not saying much, but I like Frisk. Yeah, Frisk is about to die. Let's see. I'm sure they built more than 3 Starhawks, but double checking, yeah, there's only 3 Starhawks that apparently are listed here, and it's the 3 that are at Jakku. And then they did the dearmament, so cool. By the way, make sure to get your guesses in if you
Be
haven't.
flying your best for this one. X-Wing, Y-Wing, U-Wing, A-Wing. Pick whichever fighter you need.
They really liked that moon, Dark Prince wrote.
General Syndulla to Imperial forces. Withdraw or be destroyed. We're in the fire now.
Yeah. Time to end this. For the boss. One hell of a place to fight.
I've never seen anything like it.
Those Imperials better enjoy the view while they can.
Oh my god, I'm speed limited again.
Did anyone else hear that?
Probably just a comm glitch. Focus on the Star Destroyer.
There we go.
They missed their chance. Eliminate that Star Destroyer so we can move the Starhawk into position.
I'm sorry, my first objective is destroy a Star Destroyer.
Any advice, General? Hit the subsystems first to weaken it. Then strike with everything you've got.
Just like that, huh? Eliminate
Like, that's...
Here I am. Its shields are too strong. We've got to fly under them and hit the hull dead on.
Take out the Star Destroyer's shield generators. That'll give you a clear shot at its systems.
Right. If we knock out its targeting or power systems, it'll give our other ships a better chance.
We got their shield generator.
You heard the droid. Got one on my tail.
some fire on that. Yep, they fired a missile at me.
You're in the Star Destroyer's trying to beam. Try to boost out of there, or blast its emitter. I'm in their sights. Losing their power system ought to slow them down.
They're down, not out. The Star Destroyer's functioning at 75%.
Take down those turbo lasers.
That would make this easier.
You're wasting time. Attack somewhere else.
Star Destroyer's weakening. Got them. Yes, their targeting's down. There it is again. That doesn't sound like a comm glitch.
Right. We're investigating. Stand by.
Yeah, 5 hit a weak spot. Little more, and that Star Destroyer is done for.
Time to wrap this up. Unless you're getting tired, Perez.
That's it. I'll bust this thing myself.
You heard the droid. Got one on my tail.
The Imperials should have left. They were warned. They had a chance.
Well, they ain't getting another chance. Hit 'em hard. That one's for the commander.
Its shields are gone.
I'm lucky to fly with you.
The Star Destroyer is out of the fight.
Sure.
Good job, everyone. Now, form up.
What's next? Regroup with the Starhawk for stage 2 of the plan.
Vanguard, looks like that signal is coming from inside the Starhawk.
What? It's been evacuated.
We have to be sure. Get to the signal origin point before it's too late.
Oh my gosh, he's still alive.
Unbelievable.
Lyndon? But you...
Know the Starhawk inside out?
We thought we lost you.
Yeah, I'll explain later, General. What's our status?
The Starhawk has a straight shot at the moon, sending in corvettes to get it moving. Give them some cover.
Corvettes? To tow the Starhawk into the moon and take out every damn Imperial ship in range.
Then count me in. Let's finish this. Together.
I don't mean to niggle, but we just took out a Star Destroyer by ourselves effortlessly in like a couple minutes. Yeah, I know. We're on easy difficulty.
Our starfighters can't handle it.
But still, canonically, we did take out a Star Destroyer, regardless of the difficulty. So maybe we should just keep doing that? It's a Death Star, Lord Harriman. Except, you know, good guys instead of bad guys.
Heading straight for the Corvettes.
And they're a stationary target. Vanguard, be ready.
We'll hold off the Imperials as long as we can.
Corvette engines at full power.
How long is this gonna take?
Longer than I'd like. Be ready.
Come on, hold together.
It is quite literally 3 ISDs welded together.
Okay to fly, but not to fight. My little droid here can only fix so much.
Why is... God damn it.
If you watch our backs, we'll handle the rest.
Look sharp. More bombers coming in.
Hello, Evo.
Let's get some fire on that.
Yeah, no, exactly, Loke. Like, this whole game, this whole campaign has been all super laser focused, pun intended, on the Starhawk. Maybe we shouldn't just throw the damn thing away to knock out 3 ISDs. In fact, mathematically, that's barely breaking even. In fact, it's technically not breaking even. Because of the fact that you... Like, okay, we're good, we're good.
You're taking no chances.
I'm just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it go.
How did you survive inside the Starhawk?
Everything's fine.
And I was damn lucky. How's our Starhawk doing, Ardo?
That's not an explanation. I was lucky is not an explanation for surviving colliding with a ship at full speed while damaged.
More bombers coming right at us. You see that shot?
Oh my god, Blue Girl.
Joining up. Nice.
He did have plot armor.
You've got pursuers.
We have 5 bombers heading right for us.
Let's get rid of them before we lose those Corvettes.
You know, another thing that's going to be in this game's favor, and I mean this sincerely, it's short.
Without those Corvettes, Starhawk's going nowhere. Help them out.
That's it. The Starhawk is on a collision course with the moon.
Nice. Smooth sailing from here.
Wouldn't that be a change?
Where are Corvettes going? I ordered them back. That maneuver almost burned out their engines. It's up to you now, Vanguard.
Count on us, General. All right. Starhawk's picking up speed, but it's still vulnerable.
Vanguard, defend the Starhawk at all costs.
Leave it to us.
Hit it.
Starhawk's
Sure enough, predictable.
How long we gotta fly escort? You see that archway between those 2 rocks? That's where it's headed.
Once the Starhawk reaches that point, there's no turning back.
Prepare yourselves.
It's too bad we're losing the Starhawk like this.
Yeah.
It was built to stop Imperial fleets, and that's exactly what it's gonna do.
Thanks to Teresa, though I doubt she'd like the irony.
We're picking up an incoming Imperial cruiser. Stay alert.
Oh, come on. Don't they know when to quit?
Hey, thanks.
I'm with you.
Got an enemy locked on.
them destroy it before it hits the moon.
Otto, how are we looking? Starhawk's halfway to the target position. Keep going.
Yes! We got it! Imperial cruiser is down!
Expertly done. All of you.
Everyone on the Temperance is counting on us.
And you've never let them down. Today is no different.
A second Imperial cruiser is heading to your location.
Of course it is. Not the Star Destroyers who are hanging back, for some reason. And also not fleeing, by the way. Even though they probably have several minutes to realize what's going on.
I always pay my debts. Eventually.
Going into formation.
No, attack the enemy. Like always, attack. Just 100% of the time, attack the enemy.
On your way. Let's get some fire on that.
We did solo one IST. If they're afraid to lose them, maybe they should leave.
May I join you? They've locked onto my ship. You've got enemies locked on.
Let's get some fire on that. Hit it.
Took a hit. There, you're clear.
It's actually a moon, Evo. But yes, otherwise. Go ahead, get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. I know you want to. Okay, don't hold it in.
Second enemy cruiser's taking a beating.
Don't let up. We're getting close. Everyone watch your cockpit heat levels and give those Imperials hell.
You got it. The Starhawk's taking a beating. Radar, keep the Starhawk in one piece until it's in position.
Yeah, we're trying.
That'll do.
No, there's just a nebula nearby. See that nebula over there?
I'm under fire. The second cruiser's almost finished. Just a little more.
That's another cruiser down. Superb.
Attack that.
Hey, Ardo, you seeing this? Confirmed. Enemy fighters closing in.
You're too
Thank you,
kind.
Blue Hero.
Hit it.
Oh, we're almost done. For no reason, I'm gonna chop off the guessing game now. If you haven't gotten your guess in, well, that sucks. Just close that off really quick. Well, you know how dangerous and terrifying nebulas are. Yeah, this moon is really close to this planet. Like, disturbingly close. Oh. So about those ISDs and how they're just sitting there. And have been for several minutes.
We're gonna make it out of this, right, Keo? Right, Keo?
Vanguard Squadron, get out of there!
What do you think we're doing?
No one panic. Follow me.
Oh, thank God. The guy who's an Imperial is here.
We gotta outrun it. Go, go, go! I feel the shockwave out of my tail. Stay with me. No room, no room. Keo, see that opening?
Yeah. Ah! Jesus Christ. That should have probably killed me, if we're being honest. But I accept. Oh my God. This is actually mean. That's the wrong way. Nice effect that's chasing us.
Faster, Frisk, you can do it. Now, go on. Leave me behind.
ignore how we can hear that?
What the? There's no way through here. We're done for.
There's always a way. I see it. That's my flight path.
Don't ever give up, my son. Father?
This'll be tight. We can do it.
I'm burning up in here. No time to get careless. All these rocks look the same.
There's light. Follow me.
We're almost out.
Okay, fine. Just for you guys.
We're clear.
I did it. I mean, we did it.
Let's head home.
Chandrilla's ahead. Our people will be safe.
Until Force Awakens.
You did it, Vanguard. Project Starhawk is only just beginning.
Vanguard? Punch it.
Hope is like the sun. You only believe in it when you can see it. You'll never make it through the night. We know our new republic faces great challenges. But thanks to Vanguard Squadron, peace is closer than ever. General Syndulla sacrificed one Starhawk for the chance to build a fleet. From Nadiri, Commander Javes will guide our best and brightest, forging the strength to challenge an...
See? 3 ships.
The war goes on. But we face it with renewed courage. Inspired by heroes who fly for freedom as we emerge from the darkness of Imperial oppression into the light of a new era.
A George Lucas film. No, that's... I hit the wrong button. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. I muted myself instead of the game. But we got a new paint job. Yes. Super great. Very useful. Much wow. Okay. So, give me a second. All right, hang on. Are we got a practice mode? Let me AFK for several minutes. Listen, we gotta propaganda it up, okay? Alright, now that I'm done screaming. Hang on, one more. Ah! Okay, there we go, there we go. Let's do... And you're right, we did do this with the preservers in StarCraft 2. I feel like 2 is sufficient for this situation. So let's do 2, and that's probably the last of our story negatives. Why would I not give a fake out death negative, Loke? Why? Look, why would I do that? I shake Loke. Why? Let's see here. And then I kill Loke! Loke's dead! Oh my god! Loke's dead! No! I'll take Vanguard over Titan. Both had one pilot I liked, so hey. I mean, Gray's there. You know, Evo, there might be something mango flavored on my desk right now that I haven't even opened up yet. I should mention I've already pretty much done the audit with one notable exception. So let's do this. Now, I do have a little bit of last bit of paperwork here to do, which is sad but true. Okay, so let's go. So let's do challenges. Oh, it's actually letting me do it now. It wasn't letting me log in earlier. So all of these were actually blank last time I looked at it. So I don't give a crap about any of that. Let's do versus the AI. For practice fight? No, I would be the Empire. So when the HUD updates next, it will be up to date. It's updating, looks like, in about 5 minutes. So,
what works best for you?
The TIE Defender. Okay, yeah, that thing. What do we got here? I need requisition? Well, at least we can make our ship look cool. That's something. I can have a gold TIE ship. Isn't that cool? Is this everyone?
That's everyone but you.
Okay, thank you.
I will live to have regrets, but I did order the boys.
Oh, I was really tempted for the same reason. It does have Gouda.
Kinda, like...
It has bacon jam.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
Screw it. No, they did not, Loke. It does have Gouda, Evo. It does have Gouda. Okay. That's hilarious, Alchemist, but honestly, I don't care that much. I'm mostly just looking at it right now. Oh my god, it's 3PO's head. It's an IG-88. It's a gonk, which is, as we all know, the greatest of all things. Let's have a little lambda there. Rancor? What the hell? Okay, so since we can't equip anything, whatever, let's just go. Alright. Deploy enemy Squadron 1. Oh my god, sold, Kira White Noise!
Enemy locked on.
I am hereby suing you, Blue Hero 96. Now, I am willing to settle, okay? All you have to do is watch my stupid stream for a bit. I'll consider it even.
I've lost count.
Well, it looks sharp. It doesn't feel like what a defender really should feel like, though, if I might be bold.
They've locked on.
And yeah, I've never liked how the defender actually looks. Yeah, the advanced, oh, that's a sharp-looking ship.
And the legend grows.
Let's get some boost going. It does have a little bit of straight line speed, so that's nice. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, no, I actually failed at drifting. I was trying to drift, and it didn't work, and I'm not really sure why. Exactly, Nemesis. See, you're starting to understand. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay. There we go. That... It just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right, Luke. But then again, I am going off of information from a game from the 90s, so what the hell do I know? Although, in my defense, I played that game just a couple of years ago. Oh, you suck, Blue Hero. Much jealousy. It's, So I'm pretty sure that's actually it. Like, we're not really covering any of the rest of this because all the rest of this is part of the equation that doesn't exist as far as we're concerned. So, route. Let's blow this thing and go home. In honor of the type of game we just played, I think I'm going to play a specific type of music for this. If I can find it, there it is. I do, Alchemist. I have for many years. If Brigwin's present, she might even be able to help you get to it, because I actually can't at this point, for reasons I don't feel like going into right now. Hey, the quack. Wait, people are allowed to like DC Comics? Looks like Bragwin actually isn't here. Oh, she's making dinner right now. Right. Sorry. So let's jot down our last few positives and negatives here. What's really sad is I did actually enjoy this game for what it was. Make of that what you will. This really is a Squadrons game. Like, no regrets here. Trying to go through this as quickly as I can. I do apologize for the delay. The second GameCube Rogue Squadron game was my favorite. I can never think of the name of it, but I had so much fun with that. Yeah, the visuals and audio are the only thing bolstering the story score at all. Just... what do I need to add to that? Yeah, go solo in ISD. No, it's fine. The other 4 ISDs are just hanging out. Are they going to flee now that we've killed one of the ISDs? No. Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot the color's still there here. There's a real ship. Rogue Leader, that's the one. Oof. Love that. I've replayed the crap out of the game. What game has had more story negative than this game? This is only negative 12, I think. Even a casual glance here. Yeah, no kidding, Luke. Like, we've got Secret of the Stars, Devil May Cry 2, Mass Effect 3, Mega Man X7, Just Cause 4, Star Trek Shattered Universe, Quest 64, Drakengard, Wolfenstein, Youngblood, and Far Cry New Dawn. This game did have a worse story than Kingsfield 4, though, and I stand by that. It's something that I've been challenged on many times, and as experience has kind of honed the edges or whatever, I've started to realize that I do think bad is worse than absent. I really do. I would really legitimately rather that there was effectively no story than there was this, right? Like, imagine if we just did the missions we just did. Briefing. Go fight. Briefing. Go fight. And, like, that's it, right? Instead of this just whatever. Longer game than I thought it would be, honestly. I chalked that up to me sucking and spending a solid hour trying to get the controls working correctly. I do hope you don't hate me forever, Alchemist, although I don't blame you if you do. Jesus Christ. That is a 20... I'll get to the stats in a minute. Wow. I do need to double up on that one. Need to remember these things. Doing this all on purpose. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's okay because we made the ultra super weapon. The ultramist, a superest of all weapons. Which will forever win the war. Sorry. Maybe. Pillars of Snow. This was a game, for the record, that I was actually really looking forward to. Pretty much the moment they announced it, I was like, ooh. Because if you remember, when they announced Star Wars Squadrons, one of the first things they showed off was the fact that you actually had power management. And I point that out because the fact that they focused on that meant to me that they understood at least a little bit where their audience was at, you know? And I was just like, oh, like that caught my attention instantly. A bad breakup with property damage. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we got Starfield coming up probably next week at the current rate. God dang it. Yeah, get the game to hire some real writers. We got this. Okay. 1 second. Because I'd normally be done right now. But I want to kind of compare this game side by side with TIE Fighter. So give me 1 second, please. No. Do you think Star Wars Squadrons is going to beat TIE Fighter? Yeah, a bit of a gimme there, honestly. We actually have several flight games, though. We've got the Ace Combats 4, 5, 0, and 7, in that order. We've got Star Trek Shattered Universe. Pretty sure this game crushes that. When you wish upon a star. Sorry. Wow. Wow. Yep, okay. Actually, no. TIE Fighter's current system. TIE Fighter is after the Oblivion line. Although, I need to double check something really quick. So I apologize for one extra little bit of delay. Did we have a highlight reel for TIE Fighter? I think that's back when I was doing those. You think I have no time now? Nowadays, I have... So, some of you have been wondering, if you don't mind my just talking about something completely unrelated to anything for a second. I complain, or rather lament, a lot that I just don't have time. And that's very true, I don't. But part of the reasoning there is because... Well... I have gone out of my way to mandate that I spend at least some time every day with friends and or family. And that's kind of what takes up that extra chunk of time. Because some people have been like, hang on, you don't do the ruminations anymore. You don't do the big lore runs anymore, and you don't do the highlight reels. So what is moved in to take that spot? And the answer is spending time with friends and family. And I know that sounds rather selfish, but the truth is that that is kind of where that is. The thought has occurred to me many times that if I just decided to not spend time with my niece, or not spend time, you know, hanging out with my friends, or not spend time with my sister, then yeah, I would have tons of extra time every day to go and do things like ruminations or editing or even just sleep. But you can probably understand why every time I have that thought, I'm just like, hold on. Maybe I should stop hanging out with my family isn't a thought I should be having. There it is. Six. That sounds about right. It does depend on your family, but of course I'm talking about my real family. Apologize for the delay. I mean, we don't choose who we're born into, right? See you around, Nemesis. Have a good night. Okay. I apologize for that delay. So, Star Wars Squadrons. -13 to story. That is 1.13 negatives per hour and a ratio of 29%. I feel the need to explain that really quickly for those of you not super familiar with my system. Obviously, that means of the story score, it was dragged down to -13 even after the positives it got. That means the density is obvious. It's 1.13 negatives per hour, roughly. The ratio is how many of all the points given, how many of them are positive. That's your percentage. So 29% of all the points given were positive. Anything below 50 is bad. That's terrible. But if it makes you feel any better, Shattered Universe got a -18 with 2.5 negatives per hour and a ratio of 0%. Gameplay. Gameplay is why this game is going to crush Shattered Universe. Because, whoops. Did I? 1 second. Oh, that's right. Okay. Gameplay, +20. Pretty good, actually. Let's give it to a bit of perspective. TIE Fighter got +19. Ace Combat 5 got +18. Ace Combat 4 got +13. So the only games, and Shattered Universe got -30. So Squadrons got third slot in terms of gameplay. That's just behind Ace Combat 0 and 7. That's pretty good. That is a density of 1.5 positives per hour, which is great, and a ratio of 81%, which is awesome. That's our second highest ratio behind Ace Combat 0, and our second highest density behind Ace Combat 0. Giving us our final golden number. Make a drum roll, please. Just for perspective here. So obviously, Shattered Universe isn't even on the board. That's negative 150. That's garbage. So of the games, Ace Combat 0 is on the top with 87. Right behind that is TIE Fighter with 64. Is that right? Hang on. I just double checked. Yeah, that's right. 64. 64. I'm right. Right behind that is TIE Fighter with 64. Both of those are good games. Obviously, Ace Combat 7 got a 58. Ace Combat 5 got a 43. And Ace Combat 4 got a 42. And you know where this is going based on how I'm lining this up. Star Wars Squadrons gets a net golden number of 13.14. It's above 0. Anything above 0 is net positive. But yeah, that's decidedly below average. And it is absolutely tanked by its story score. For those of you not paying attention, it was legitimately in question that it might have actually been a net negative game after a bit. For a bit of perspective, we actually have a secondary calculation which I can plug in really quickly. For games that have a total absence of story, we do this for randomizers. If this was a randomizer, it would have gotten a 92. But it didn't. This has been fun. Noctis X Soul actually won. And so I'm putting that towards Epic Battle Fantasy V, Henry Stickmin, and The Messenger. I think. I was just looking at that. How would the guessing game go? Oh god, where'd it go? I was just staring at it. Yep, I'm right. Yay! That was fun. That was interesting. And I do hope that was enjoyable for you as well. Tomorrow, what the hell are we playing tomorrow? Someone type exclamation mark next really quick, please. I've legitimately lost track. We're just burning through games right now. Next is Ruiner. I don't even know what genre that game is. So, next up is Ruiner. Hope to see at least some of you there. And I'll see the rest of you next time.